It's a myth that you're supposed to just know what you want. It's a myth that you're supposed to want to become a parent or have children. It's a myth that someday you will just know. And as I said yesterday, these messages have their roots in pronatalism. And we live in a pronatalist society. And the message is that you should want children and have children. And even if you grew up in a progressive household with a message, whatever you want is fine, I'll support you, you cannot escape the pronatalist messaging in our society because it's invisible and overt at the same time and extreme. And this adds to the confusion of sorting out what you want. It's also why there is shame and judgment in not knowing. And it's still taboo to choose a child-free life. And it's true, lots of people choose to live a child-free life. No one gives them, they feel good about it. No one, gives them any, flack about it. But it doesn't, with the taboo of choosing a child-free life, it just doesn't even give room to question. So let's see if I have it here. I have to have this out. I want to read something about pronatalism. So I'm just going to read a blurb from this book that I'll show you in just a second about pronatalism. Pronatalism is a powerful ideology and a set of beliefs, that goes back many generations, centuries actually. The book Pronatalism, The Myth of Mom and Apple Pie gives one of the best definitions of pronatalism. And it's an attitude or policy that is pro-birth, that encourages reproduction, and that exalts the role of parenthood. And with its definition comes a host of supporting societal assumptions that might have served a purpose at one time, but have now outlasted their usefulness or have actually never been true at all. And I'm a big fan of Laura Carroll, and she wrote The Baby Matrix. And I just, always encourage people to read it just to get grounded in the messaging that has been around for a long time. I mean, centuries ago, rulers, empires, needed people to, needed soldiers and people for their armies. They needed women to have children. And so even if you never think about it, you just can't escape this messaging. And you don't want to underestimate the generational inheritance that you received from your parents, which is often unexplored beliefs they've carried. And even if they're not talked about, it's in the air. And sometimes the pronatalist messaging shows up in religion. It's just everywhere. And so if you never think about it and you're like thinking, I want to live a child-free life, and that seems fine to you, you might experience some inner conflict and not know where it comes from.